Hello, we're going to get started now. Thank you for joining Build It Green's webinar this morning. Before we get started, I want to make sure everyone is set up and can hear me. On your screen, you'll see the control panel. Which contains panes that can be expanded or collapsed by clicking the plus or minus on the left side of each pane. Please locate the Grab tab, the two black arrows. Click arrow to open, close the control panel. Within this panel, you'll see the viewer window. Click the square to toggle between full screen and window mode. And you'll see the hand icon, which you can click to raise or lower your hand. Don't worry about the last icon, as you'll be muted during the webinar. If you can't hear me, please raise your hand so that we can troubleshoot, and we'll give this a minute to see if there's any problem. I still see a couple people coming on. So again, I'm going to repeat it. If you can't hear me, please raise your hand. Just look at the screen. You can see the little hand icon in the control panel. Okay, looks like everyone can hear us. That's great. So we also have the questions pane. So anytime throughout the presentation, you are invited to type your questions into the questions pane, and we will read them for the presenter to answer during the Q&A portion. If you're experiencing an echo and are using the voice over IP, which is the audio through your computer, you may want to switch and call in on a phone line. You can also see the phone number. Once you click phone on your control panel, you'll get a phone number that you can call in. So I'd like to welcome everyone to our webinar, and it's titled Building Your Business with GreenPoint Raven. My name is Karen Beck, and I'll be hosting this morning. Build It Green offers many webinars, monthly webinars, as part of our continuing education offerings and member benefits, as members receive free admission to our webinars as well as free access to the webinar library. Note, this webinar and PowerPoint slides will be available for download in our members library by early next week. If you are not a member of Build It Green, we hope you'll consider becoming a member and helping support the work that we do throughout California. Visit our website to learn more. So today's webinar is worth 1.5 CEUs, but we can only give credit if you stay on the webinar for the whole time. You do not need to submit this course for recertification, as we will upload it into your record. As of right now, your Build It Green CEU should be up to date through February of 2012. You can access your CEUs if you log into the website, and then in the upper right-hand corner, you click the View Your Profile. Once you're on your profile, you look for a link that's called Courses. If you click on that link, you'll see all the Build It Green webinars, guild meetings, and trainings that you've participated in. And if you have any questions, you can always call our recertification department. Finally, on to today's agenda. The presentation has two parts, and we will have two Q&A breaks in between. One in between part 1 and 2 and one at the end. Again, you can go ahead and type your questions into the chat box, and I'll read them to Janine to answer during the Q&A portion. A short survey will go out immediately after the webinar, and we'd appreciate if you could fill it out to let us know how we're doing on the webinar offerings. And finally today, I am the facilitator, Karen Beck, and we're lucky here to have Janine Kubert, Director of Marketing and Education at Build It Green. Janine brings over 15 years experience in transforming consumer needs into marketing strategies and programs that clarify organizations' unique value. She has developed and implemented marketing initiatives for clients such as Green Schools Initiative, the Business Council on Climate Change, United Way of the Bay Area, and IRU Sustainability Consulting. Prior to work for nonprofit and environmental organizations, Janine also managed design and production of software and websites for technology companies. Please say hello.
Thank you, Karen. I'm really excited to be here today and share with you a lot of what we've been learning about what moves homeowners when they're thinking about remodeling and remodeling green. Over the past year and a half, we've done a number of focus groups with homeowners who are considering remodeling and asked them a lot of questions to get to the heart of what motivates them. And we've also done some focus groups with real estate agents and builders to find out how they most effectively sell green remodeling and GreenPoint rated. And a lot of what I'm going to share with you today is based on our findings. I assume that, of course, you all have your own tips and tricks, and hopefully you can share some of those as well with us during the Q&A. So the goals for today are to really understand the homeowner's point of view and to learn more about how to speak your client's language. We'll talk about how to avoid common pitfalls that a lot of technical experts often fall into, and we'll also share with you some tools that will help you get started on marketing GreenPoint rated. Many of you might already know what GreenPoint rated is and how to green a home, but one of the primary things that I wanted to convey today is that although you have a lot of technical information, that's not always necessarily the language that your homeowners will respond to. So we're really going to talk about simplified language. It may seem simple to you, but that is what we're trying to achieve because that is what homeowners often resonate with. So who are the green homeowners? Well, they're typically a well-educated bunch, and they prefer not to be spoken down to. A lot of what we found in focus groups is that when we ask people if they understand what is energy efficiency or what is green, they say, of course I do, even though when you probe a little bit deeper, they may not really understand what they're talking about, but they don't want to be spoken to in that way, so you should always assume that they're well-educated and talk to them in that way. A lot of green homeowners tend to be middle to upper income. They often have the few extra dollars that it may take to buy the green products, which can have a premium or do the extra portion of the remodel. They are not necessarily the super eco-minded. Many of them will list environmental concerns further down the list. I think primarily what you want to think about is it's not green homeowners, it's really any homeowner. Any homeowner, they will understand the benefits of a green home if you articulate them well. Most people are doing a lot of these upgrades for other reasons. They're motivated by comfort and value and health, things that will motivate them to spend the extra dollars for the green remodel. So getting into the mindset of your clients when they're starting a remodel, what's top of mind? A lot of times they're concerned about money. I'm sure that they bring that up with you. And of course, they're worried about time. How much time is this going to take? I want to have a comfortable home. I don't want to be having obstructions in my house. But that's not the same thing as the motivation to remodel. If you get underneath and start asking them what inspired you to take on this project, a lot of times it's things like, I want a healthy, safe home. I want to be comfortable in my house. We have a draft all the time. I want a modern, beautiful home that I can be proud of. I really want to achieve my green home. So when you're talking to your clients, it's not that you don't want to address what's top of mind, but you really want to get to that deeper motivation. You want to connect with the reasons that they're doing this project and talk about ways in which the green remodel is going to help address making their home healthier and safer, making it more comfortable. You want to integrate the motivational messages. The question is, why are they doing this? And it's really an emotional decision. Emotion drives decision making. There are more and more studies coming out and articles that I've seen in the Times recently that show that people, they want to feel smart and proud and like they're taking good care of their family, and that's what motivates them to make a decision, not all the data and the rational stories. So what happens is people say, oh, I feel good about this decision, and so I'm going to do that, even really without thinking it through. Then you give them the data, you give them the reasons, and they say, yes, that is why I made that decision, even though really they made it based on emotion. People are emotional decision makers first, and then rationally justify their decision. So you always want to tap into that core emotion. So that brings us to values-based messages. So the message themes that tie in values when you're talking about green homes and GreenPoint rated is that GreenPoint rated is really the gold standard in green homes. You want to make people feel like GreenPoint rated is helping them get the best of the best homes. I mean, people go after name brands all the time. They're going after Gucci bags or BMWs, or they're going after the Prius. So GreenPoint rated should hold that gold standard status in their minds. They're healthier, safer homes, they're more comfortable homes, and they're a smart investment. And we'll get into each of those in turn a little bit more. So if you have 10 seconds or less, and you're just quickly trying to convey to the homeowner, what is GreenPoint rated? You start out with the gold standard in green homes, and then if you have a few more seconds, you can explain, well, it's like a report card or nutrition label for green homes that scores them in 5 categories. You can give a couple examples. Energy and water conservation. Most people will relate to that immediately. Or if you know that they really have a concern with asthma or they have elderly people living with them, a lot of times indoor air quality will definitely resonate with them. Sustainable building materials and community benefits tend to be a little further out. Community benefits, when we say that, we mean things like proximity to public transportation. And the last thing that you can throw in is that GreenPoint rated homes are verified by trained independent experts in green building. This is not a logo that has no substance. We have people out there that's a third-party verified label. It's been vetted. It's been endorsed by government agencies, and they can feel proud that their GreenPoint rated home meets high environmental standards. And a lot of people have put a lot of weight into that. I just saw an article this morning talking about consumers and green labels, and they said that 80% of consumers are swayed by a green label like WaterSense or Energy Star. So knowing that the GreenPoint rated label is going to be on their home can make a big difference. You also want to give people examples that make it easy for them to understand what you're talking about. Not everyone really does know what it means to have more energy efficient measures in their home, water conservation. So Energy Star is a commonly understood label. If you say energy efficient appliances like Energy Star, or water conservation like low flow fixtures in your bathroom or kitchen. For indoor air quality, we're talking about less toxic products in your home like low VOC paints. Sustainable materials could be bamboo flooring. And community benefits, as we mentioned before, could be proximity to public transportation or parks or shopping, anything that requires that they get in their car less. Another powerful tool is using metaphors. This is a great example that someone from Advanced Home Energy used. Running your furnace without proper insulation is like turning up the heat in your car and driving with the windows rolled down. I know many of us are guilty of that, myself included. And it gives the homeowner an idea of what they're doing in their home right now that they could be fixing with a green upgrade. Healthier, safer homes, you can use examples such as homes with fewer chemicals, as I said before. Also, construction techniques that reduce dust and mold. A lot of people aren't even aware of how much dust and mold is in their home and that they can avoid that by using a green upgrade. You want to reinforce that in the end, a GreenPoint rated home is going to be healthier and safer for them and their family. Comfort issues are a big motivator. A lot of people in the focus group said that they initiated a remodel because their homes were drafty and cold all the time. And so it's great to make sure that they understand that GreenPoint rated homes are less hot in the summer and less drafty on cold or rainy days, and that they can get convenience of on-demand hot water GreenPoint rated homes are more comfortable and more livable. Once you've hit all of those emotional value-based messages, then you can back it up with facts that will help them do that rational justifying that I mentioned earlier. Greening your home is a smart, long-term investment. More and more studies are showing that people who are looking to buy homes are looking for green features and green labeled homes. Second one is even in tough economic times, green homes are more valuable and retain their value better. There are additional number of studies showing that green labeled homes sell for a premium of at least 5 to 10% and spend fewer days on the market. And that's something that's really valuable for a homeowner that may consider selling sometime in the next 10 years. And since GreenPoint rated homes are built to a high standard, they can save you money on utilities, maintenance, and repairs. So this is not just about saving money on your energy and water bills. It's also about using durable materials and quality construction practices that are going to make their home need less maintenance over time. So they save in that way as well. Going back to our metaphor about driving with the windows rolled down and the heat turned on, you want to reinforce that there are leaky air ducts and poor insulation, the water greedy landscaping they have in place. That has been leaking energy and money out of their home and out of their wallet for years. They've just been losing money, and this is a good way to stop losing money and start saving money. Help them visualize that their home has a problem right now, and this is going to help them fix it. So there's an added benefit right now. Here we're talking about the Alameda County rebate. There's also one in Los Angeles County where you can get $1,000 to $2,000 in rebates for the GreenPoint rated label. Given the fact that rating often costs only $1,000 to $1,500, you can basically get the GreenPoint rated label for free in those counties. Also, if they're doing work, any energy efficiency work, Energy Upgrade California has $5,000 to $8,000 in various counties around California that can help them defray the cost of those upgrades. So you should be sure to connect them with those resources. The bottom line when talking to homeowners is that your family deserves a green home. It's going to give them the pride of home ownership, a green home that's good for their family. It's a smart decision, and it's a label that they can trust. They're going to be on board with spending the extra money if they know that these emotional points have been touched upon. If you can say authentically to them, your home is going to be healthy, safe, and green, a lot of people will resonate with that. So maybe you don't say this phrase exactly, you put it in your own words, but this is the message you want to get to, the bottom line. And then you integrate yourself in the equation. As a certified green building professional or GreenPoint rater, I've gone through a special training to ensure that your home is going to meet these environmental standards. Or I would work with the GreenPoint rater who can verify that your remodel meets these high environmental standards. You always want to close with your call to action. Talk about the best solutions to green your home. We're going to assess your home's needs and develop a customized plan. You don't want to start throwing too many details at them at this point. A lot of homeowners can be overwhelmed if you dive right into the details, and we'll talk about that in the next section. But you just want to make sure that you close with the call to action and that you're going to help them develop this customized plan. And also encourage them to visit greenpointrated.com. We've developed an entire website for homeowners, which I'm going to show you in the next section as well. There's a photo gallery, there's interactive GreenPoint rated home, and lots of guidelines on how to do green remodeling projects, whether they're doing it themselves or working with a contractor. So a few things about pitfalls that a lot of people fall into. Getting too technical is number one. As professionals, you know so much about green building, and it can be really tempting to explain to them the latest information that you might have on a green building technique or product. But for homeowners where this is all new to them, getting too technical can be really overwhelming. Number 2 is that you don't want to talk about the cost without emphasizing the value. You want to address their cost concerns, but like I said in the beginning, getting back to those motivational issues and really talking about how the value is what they're getting with their green remodel. They're willing to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their kids' education because they understand the value of that. And how can you really put a price on your children's health? It's the same way. Knowing that you have a healthy indoor air quality for your home and for your children is just as important. And they will be willing to spend the money on it if you present it to them through that lens. Number 3 is don't get caught up in selling in terms of the long-term payback. The savings on utility bills can look fairly small compared to the money they might be out of pocket immediately. So although savings is a great bonus, you don't want to sell on that. And you don't want to focus too much on the words green. For some people, green still implies that it's a lower performing product or that it's going to be a less attractive environment. You want to focus in on quality. That, you know, there are a lot of products now where the best performance is coming from a green product. And just reassure them that you're focused on giving them the best performing products and the most comfortable, healthy indoor environment. So just to recap, don't tell them everything you know. Just tell them what they need to know. Don't fixate on the costs. Focus on the value. Don't talk only about green. Talk about creating a healthier, safer, more comfortable home today. And again, today means not benefits in the future. Those are benefits you're getting right now. So I think we're going to pause here for a little Q&A.
Go ahead and type your questions into the chat box, and we'll read them for Janine to answer. I have one question here. How, as a contractor or architect, can they get more information about the rebates you mentioned? Where can they get more information?
So if you go to greenpointrated.com, there is a button on, I think it's the lower right of the page, it says rebates. And that page has all the rebate information you need for the current rebates being offered.
Great. And any resources like websites that Janine mentions on the webinar, we will go ahead and I'll do a follow-up email to the webinar, and I'll make sure I include all of that information in that follow-up email, just to let you know. And how does one find a rater to work with on a project?
Build a Green hosts a directory of GreenPoint raters. You can go to the Build a Green site. There's a drop-down menu called Directories and Resources, and choose the Certified Green Professionals directory. Once you're there, you'll see a drop-down menu, and you can choose raters for existing homes, multifamily projects, new homes. They're all there, and you can sort by region.
Great. Any more questions for Janine before we move on to the marketing portion of the webinar? Okay, we can go ahead and get started then.
Okay. So I wanted to share with everybody some marketing resources. Let's see. Can everybody see the greenpointrated.com website? Can you see it?
Well, maybe we say if you can't raise your hand.
If you can't raise your hand.
I can see it.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay. So many of you might be familiar with Build a Green's website, which is really designed for professionals and has a lot of professional resources that we'll visit in a moment. But we wanted to create a website where homeowners could go and learn more about GreenPoint Rated that was clear and simple and really explained all the benefits to them. So now we have greenpointrated.com. I invite you to check out this website. There's an area on green remodeling that has information on all kinds of projects, kitchen and bath, laundry, energy efficiency updates, just basic maintenance. There's so much great information in there. If any homeowner you know wants to know more about green remodeling, this is a great resource. We also have an Ask an Expert forum, and this is where we invite homeowners and professionals to come in and ask questions and get them answered. As we start getting more and more homeowners to participate in the Ask an Expert area, we think it's a great resource for professionals like you to get involved, demonstrate your knowledge to homeowners. It's a good marketing tool, and you might be able to build some new relationships that way. The gallery I have pulled up right here, we have some case studies, so you can show homeowners other homes that have been through GreenPoint rated remodels. See if I can get into one of these. It's been a little slow. There's a photo gallery for each one of these, and there's also a downloadable PDF. So this is a great place to just kind of scroll through, give people an idea of what are some of the components and what does the remodel look like in action. We also have from the case study page an interactive green home. This is another great educational tool. Basically, each of these flashing icons has a different green feature, and you can click on them and learn more about what the feature is. And there's animations in here explaining what a moisture barrier is. Could be difficult, so this is a helpful tool that we created to help homeowners understand more about green features. I'd also like to show you the professionals website. So on our website under the GreenPoint rated section, sorry for the delay here, we've updated this area recently. If you haven't been here, we now have a GreenPoint rated homes map. This is a Google map showing all of the GreenPoint rated homes in California. If you're somebody who has a GreenPoint rated project and you'd like to get information added here, there's a form on this page and you can get your information added, and we're going to be promoting this on the homeowner website as well. We also have a marketing collateral library that we've developed for professionals to help you market to homeowners. So here you see a series of flyers. There's fact sheets about GreenPoint rated. There's also tips for energy efficiency kitchen and bath. This is all based on the green remodeling section of the website. And on the back of each of these flyers are things that homeowners can do in each of these areas. It's a really handy information tool. Here's the Green Label rebate information flyer. You can download this and print it out also to share information about the rebates available. The case study PDFs, we put that all into one file for you, so you can print those out there. We also have some full brochures. These are 16 to 20 page color booklets, high-end glossy products that you can have ordered. They're 50 cents a piece through the collateral order form, or you can just download them here and share them electronically for free. We have some FAQs and talking points. And these talking points are based on what we talked about here today in the presentation and are a good reminder for you. In addition to the PowerPoint, you can keep these as kind of a cheat sheet. And then we are developing some signage. This sign is for multifamily buildings, a plaque for a building that's been GreenPoint rated. And we're currently working on a homeowner plaque as well that could be displayed inside the home. So these are some of the marketing resources we've developed to support professionals in marketing GreenPoint rated. We're also doing a lot of PR. We're putting out stories to the press. We did a media tour last year and are doing one again in a few weeks of a GreenPoint rated home where we invite key media. And we got coverage in Dwell magazine and Sierra magazine, and it looks like we're going to have some Los Angeles publications attending the next one. We're doing some advertising campaigns. We're going to be doing print and online advertising, and we're going around and doing more and more presentations to professionals So all of this is to support our professional community in being successful in selling GreenPoint rated to homeowners. We really want to be here as a resource to help you do that. And if you have any ideas or suggestions on other materials we could provide or how we could more effectively help you in that effort, please don't hesitate to let us know. We really want to help you as the frontline advocates for GreenPoint rated be successful. So I'm trying to figure out where I am in this. Other things to think about. Some other things that I just wanted to cover. I know that many of you probably already know how to market your own business, but sometimes we work with remodelers who are pretty small and haven't done a lot of marketing. And so I just was throwing in a couple other tactics here that might be helpful to think about. You want to make sure that everybody on your team understands your dedication to green building. And if you have talking points that you're using when you're talking to homeowners, you want to make sure that you've trained your receptionists and your installers on the same language. We've heard some stories of people who the owner of the company really cares about green remodeling, goes out, sells a project to a homeowner, and then the homeowner later is talking to somebody who's an installer or a crew person or the receptionist, and they say, yeah, I don't really believe in any of that green remodeling bunk. And the homeowner was pretty upset about that and canceled the job. So you certainly don't want that to happen to you. So it's good to make sure everyone's on the same page with whatever talking points you decide to adopt. It's great to get out there and volunteer for speaking opportunities about how to green your home. We've done some homeowner workshops. There's neighborhood associations, ways for you to get out in front of people, and make sure that people start recognizing you as somebody who's an expert in that regard. Doing a green home tour has been very effective for us. If you have a project where you have done a lot of green remodeling, you got a GreenPoint rated, and you're proud, we'd be happy to work with you on setting up a green home tour, especially if it's a GreenPoint rated project. There's lots of online advertising opportunities and press opportunities. There are PR websites like Business Wire. There's Google ads. They're pretty affordable. And optimizing your website and monitoring your site traffic is always a good practice. Lastly, e-newsletters we use profusely, as many of you probably know. And we are going to be putting together some templates and stories for real estate professionals and contractors to use that feature green remodeling tips and stories about GreenPoint rated, and you can use those and pepper your newsletters with them and send them out. Again, that's just another service we want to provide to help support you in selling GreenPoint rated and green remodeling. So that concludes my presentation, and I'd be happy to take any additional questions.
You can go ahead, excuse me, you can go ahead and type your questions into the chat box, and I'll go ahead and read them for Janine. There was one question that was asked earlier. Someone saw some information about a job site in the e-newsletter we sent out. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
A job board, I'm
job board.
presuming, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, Build It Green has launched a job board. It's on our website under the Directories and Resources section, and it's a place for anybody to post jobs and post resumes. We're trying to help green building professionals connect with one another and get jobs. So since we're a community of like-minded people, we thought it would be great to set up a new job board so you're not swimming through the world of Craigslist and Monster.com. So that's a new resource that we've made available.
Great. Let's see. We also, someone was actually just trying to find the rater and wasn't able to. Do you think you could, again, explain how to get to the directory?
Sure. Maybe I should
or maybe show it.
Yeah.
since we have some extra time.
Okay, so right here under the Directories and Resources tab on the Build a Green website is the Certified Professionals Directory. So this is the directory page. Here's the categories. You can search for building analysts, certified green building professionals, and here we have GreenPoint raters, let's say for existing single-family homes. So here it starts to list them. You can further refine your search by state, region, etc. But you can see here at the top of each listing, it tells you all of the certifications that this group has. So they're a CGBP, they're also a GreenPoint rater for multifamily homes and for single-family existing homes and for new homes. This person can rate just about anything. So hopefully that answered the question.
Great. Thank you. And then they can also find the job site underneath that menu. Is that
That's right.
the job?
The job board is down here at the bottom.
Great.
There you go.
All right. Thank you. Since we have some extra time, is there anything, please type in the chat box, anything that, any questions you might have about our website and about the resources available on either the buildagreen.org or the greenpointrated.com website. And let's see, a couple more questions. And I'm just going to let, there was a question answered that we'll answer offline. Nancy, I'll go ahead and get back to you on your question offline after the session. Any other questions for Janine? So as we have it up, it's the greenpointrated.com, and you said this was basically for homeowners, directed for homeowners.
Right.
That is a resource that you can direct your customers to. And then the Build a Green has a website that's mainly geared towards building professionals, and then the GreenPoint Rated website is part of that. On that left-hand side, you can see the GreenPoint Rated, and that's, again, geared towards building professionals.
That's right.
Just to clear that up, there was a question about the two. Okay, anything else that you want to add before we wrap this up?
No, thank you everyone again for joining us today. Please, again, let us know if there's anything we can do to help you be more effective in selling green remodeling and GreenPoint Rated. If you have any case studies or homes that you would like to see featured, please let us know. We're always looking for people to feature in our newsletters. So yeah, we invite you to participate in our community in helping to make GreenPoint Rated the standard.
Okay. So thank you for attending today. We hope that you found this webinar helpful, and as soon as we conclude the webinar, you will have a chance to fill out the survey. We ask that you just take a few minutes to fill just those few questions out. The next webinar is scheduled for April 25th and is Residential Green Construction, Navigating Contracts and Marketing. We've gotten a lot of feedback from all of you about some of the topics we haven't covered in a while or not at all, and one of those was contracts, whether that be specifically for green contracts with customers, as well as contracts between yourself and other contractors that you work with, subs. And also part of that is the residential green construction marketing. Maureen Ladley will be going over what some of the FTC rules regarding green marketing in your marketing materials and on your website, rules that most people don't know about but that do apply. And she's going to kind of go over some of those as well. So any questions about the upcoming webinar? It's available for registration right now. You can go on to our website and look for the event calendar, and we'll be posting the other topics for the webinars coming up in May and June. in the next week. Also, feedback that we'd like to have eventually, if you want to reply to the email I send out following this webinar, is this time a good time for webinars? We've had a couple comments recently that possibly a webinar later in the afternoon or early evening might be better. Most of our webinars happen at 10:30 or 11 in the morning, but there's been a few people who suggested that a later afternoon or early evening might be better for them. So it'd be great to get some feedback on that as well. And I think that is it. So thank you for joining us, and have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.